Good morning. Thank you so much for joining the European Context conversation on the elections in Slovenia. Will Trump admirer Janez Janša return to power for the fourth time? Our speaker today, and I thank him so much for accepting our invitation, is Ali Žerdin, editor of the Saturday supplement of the Slovenian daily Delo. He previously worked as a journalist and/or editor at Student Radio, the weekly Mladina, and he was editor at the daily Dnevnik. He's also the author of several books, and there will be a link. You can see the list of all the books. He has a PhD in sociology and is a collector of historic newspapers and magazines. Selections from his collection are occasionally exhibited as the Museum of the Press. My name is Mirjana Tomic. I curate and moderate European context events for two Vienna-based organizations, Presseklub Concordia and Forum Journalismus und Medien. And European Context is generously supported by the Austrian Erste Foundation. As usual, European Context events focus on understanding the local context, and the speakers live in the countries they speak about. It is my personal opinion that only when you live in a particular place, you know the perceptions, and the perceptions are often more important than facts, especially when it comes to elections. On 22nd of March 2026, Slovenia will hold parliamentary elections. The election will determine the composition of the 90-seat National Assembly, where a governing coalition requires 46 seats to command a majority. Amid geopolitical turmoils, wars, economic, energy, and political challenges, as well as the advance of the far right in Europe, not to mention that both Washington and Moscow are attempting to undermine European security, where does Slovenia stand with its 2 million inhabitants? What are the main issues that matter to the voters? As some analysts indicate, this will be a competition between the current Prime Minister Robert Golob, leader of the Liberal Freedom Movement, who has governed since 2022 in coalition with Social Democrats and eco-socialist left Levica. But as the election approaches, opinion polls show that political balance is shifting towards Janez Janša, who's described by some as a far-right candidate, 3 times for a prime minister, once Minister of Defense, whose biography counts with quite a few scandals, corruption charges, and a jail sentence. It is also speculated whether Janša is a close friend of Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban, but everyone remembers that after the 2020 elections, when Joe Biden won the US elections, Janez Janša congratulated Donald Trump. Before I give the word to Ali, just one sentence about the format. Ali will do a short presentation. I will ask a few follow-up questions, and then I invite you all to ask live questions. You can turn on your cameras. That will be easier. Ali, please explain the main electoral issues and why polls indicate that Slovenian voters seem to be returning to the far-right candidate, Janez Janša. The screen or the floor is yours.
Good morning. Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you very much that you mentioned my Museum of Press, just because it's of huge importance to me. You know, printed media are disappearing, and I'm collecting dinosaurs in a period when they're still here. So if you have nice copies of newspapers, think about me. Okay, so let's be serious about public opinion surveys. I believe, and when I'm speaking with experts, we cannot speak about any decision yet. There was a gap between challenger Janez Janša and his Slovenian Democratic Party few weeks ago, that was something like 3, 4, 5%, and now this gap is closing. We are in last days of pre-election campaign, and I would say that arguments that were presented by members of current ruling coalition were pretty strong, and that they were good speakers during television pre-election debates. So due to the fact that the gap between present coalition and opposition is closing, I would say that at this moment opposition would have something like 44 to 45 seats in the parliament. Present ruling coalition 44, 43. 2 seats are reserved for members of Italian and Hungarian national minority. Usually these 2 seats decide to support the candidate for prime minister, so they are not supposed to be kingmakers. It's possible that situation will change in next days, and I believe that final decision will be made somewhere around March 20th, not before. So when you're speaking about Janša, just to be fair, I would say that he was sentenced to jail, but then this court decision was reversed. So speaking legally, he was not sentenced. Corruption scandals were not proven, and he was not declared guilty by court. You mentioned his sympathies toward Donald Trump. That's right. He has sympathies, deep sympathies to Viktor Orban. Although there are certain significant differences between Janša and Viktor Orban. So what is at stake? I think at stake is a nature of society, a nature of democracy. There are some tendencies presented by opposition leader Janša that Slovenia would follow the way that was tested by Viktor Orban, and that is labeled as illiberal democracy. On the other side, present opposition is claiming that ruling coalition is offering very, very leftist program, and this leftist program is jeopardizing the future of Slovenia. So we have some balanced claims, but I'll try to be as fair as possible to explain what are serious positions. So next important difference is the subject of Palestine. According to present ruling coalition in Palestine, genocide is going on, or used to go on. Ruling coalition decided for recognition of Palestine, and it was in this international coalition with Spain, Ireland, and some other European states. According to present opposition, There is a lack of political realism in the policy of Golob's government. Speaking about lack of political realism, we can understand this claim as huge differences between Robert Golob and American administration. But on the other side, there are some details that cannot be understood as huge differences between White House and Ljubljana. I'm speaking a lot about foreign policy. For the first time, foreign policy is significant in decision making in Slovenia. We are in kind of reconstruction of world order. There are huge questions what will happen with international law. There is huge question what will happen with United Nations and so on. So this is the reason why debates on international issues are significant and can be important for decision making. This is my first part of introduction, but I can share with you some data on public opinion survey turnout and other significant elements that I considered as important to understand the background of Slovenian elections. In the first picture, we have information on last public opinion survey that was conducted by Mediana. Here, margin of error is 1.9 plus minus. The sample is a little bit bigger than 700 citizens. As we see, at the moment, Slovene Democratic Party, this is party where Janez Janša is president, would have something like 22.4. Freedom Movement, Robert Golob would have 20%. We have a pretty strong position of left and Environment Party Vesna, a little bit less than 8%. Then we have a block of Christian Democrats with 6.5%, 6.4%, and Social Democrats with 5.6 and Democrats with 5.5. So I would mention Democrats. The head of Democrats, Anže Logar, used to be a member of Janša's party, Slovene Democratic Party, but he decided to found his own political party. It's pretty obvious that political activities and program of Democrats are well harmonized with the activity of Slovene Democratic Party. It means Janez Janša. Democrats are focused more on urban areas. Their image is the image of a little bit more modest, a little bit more modern political party, but similarities between Democrats and Slovene Democratic Party are huge. Freedom movement can be described as liberal social party. Levica and Vesna are leftist social environmentalist party. What is significant at Levica and Vesna is the fact that the share, their percentage in public opinion surveys is going up. They're very strong in presentations of their program during television discussions. They're strong on social media. Nova Slovenia, so the bloc of Christian Democrats, here it's important that that political parties that are very similar but existed in separate form, and in previous elections they run separately, decided to form a bloc. It's a bloc of Nova Slovenia, Slovene People's Party, and a third party named Focus. Few weeks ago, their position was stronger, but at the moment, it seems that their activities are probably not so skillfully presented. Social Democrats are a political party that has roots in socialist system. This is the party that was 35 years ago associated with the Communist Party of Slovenia. They had stronger position a few weeks ago, but they are declining. So I would say that their electoral body is moving toward left and environment party, or their electoral body is moving toward freedom movement. If we calculate these numbers, it's obvious that we have relationship something like 44-44, and 2 votes and 2 seats would belong to representatives of minority. So next slide. Elections 2002, left alone had 4%, Social Democrats a little bit higher than at the moment, Christian Democrats something like their present result, Slovene Democratic Party similar to their present result in public opinion surveys. Freedom Movement was higher for about 11-12% than it is at the moment. Turnout. Let's check the turnout from the beginning of Slovenian parliamentarian democracy. It was highest in 1992. It was lowest in 2014. But in 2022, we had quite significant mobilization with the highest turnout in this century. Probably the reason for higher turnout was reaction on pandemic, and especially reaction on the policy of government of Janez Janša, who was in charge for the government between 2020 and 2022. The way how that government tried to manage the situation during pandemic was not popular. It was probably too authoritarian, and my estimation is that high turnout is a gesture or a consequence of kind of rebellion against authoritarian managing of pandemic in period 2020-2022. Okay, let's go on with the significant and less visible data. It's about fragmentation of Slovenian political space. At the moment, something like 15 or 16 political parties are running for membership in parliament. Only 6 or 7 will cross the threshold for entering the parliament. And here we have data on percentage of votes that were thrown away. So something like 24% of votes were given to political parties that didn't enter the parliament in 2022. This is the reason why freedom movement had a little bit bigger number of seats in parliament in 2020 in last term. We see that the percentage of votes given to political parties that did not cross the threshold was the lowest in 2000 with a little bit less than 4%. Okay, the most significant sociological fact when we are speaking about Slovenian political space is a lack of trust given to state institutions, a lack of trust given to media, and a lack of trust given to Roman Catholic Church. So here I have a list of most trusted institutions in Slovenia. Civil protection. Usually civil protection is successful and very well organized during natural disasters. We have floods 3 years ago, and the reaction of civil protection was almost perfect. We do trust to small companies. We do trust to the company where we work. We have trust to the army as the first state institution. Pretty high trust to the healthcare system and police. But the trust to the President of Republic is lower. Banks and courts are pretty low on this list. This is the less trust. These are the less trusted institutions. President of Parliament, European Commission, Prime Minister, government, and at the end, media, church, opposition parties, and social media posts. So social medias are less trusted, how should I say, institution, and this could be an element that could have some impact on electoral result. So this is my lecture, but I'm ready for questions.
I have just a few follow-up questions, and then I open the the floor, the screen for the audience to ask questions. Well, first question is, what difference will it make in everyday life if Janez Janša wins or Golob coalition wins? So what is it when it comes to internal policy? What is the major difference? And when you said that Janša would like to emulate Viktor Orban. What exactly would he like to emulate? And I just want to connect. I got a question from our colleague in Hungary whose system doesn't work very well. And he said, he wrote, he works for HBG, Andras Nemet. He said, Hungary's Fidesz is very much present in Slovenia, especially in the media. Is there any practical help from Hungary for Janša?
Okay. Practical differences, impact on daily life. Some changes in educational system were announced by a political program of Janez Janša.
Does it mean a more patriotic content?
So more conservative, I would say. It's about LGBT education and so on, but this part of the story was not elaborated. A little bit more elaborated was an announcement that non-governmental organization that do express their political views will be cut from the budget funds. So the announcement of budget cuts for non-governmental organization with some political statements was clear and can be understood as a serious political program. Present governmental coalition decided to do everything to stop the privatization of healthcare system. On the other side, Janša announced that private Medicare companies, organizations, and individuals dealing with working in medical system, that public or state-owned or system owned by local communities, these two elements would be equalized. So more private initiative inside of the healthcare system. Claim of Janša is that this would bring competition to Medicare system, and competition would be reason for higher quality of Medicare system. On the other side, present ruling coalition is defending public system. It means institutions founded by the state or founded by local community. Question about Hungary and media. There exists media environment in Slovenia that is owned by close allies of Viktor Orban. So we can speak about support of Hungarian-owned medias to policy of Janez Janša. These medias are can be defined as illiberally democratic medias. So here the influence of Budapest is pretty obvious, I would say. I forgot about another question.
That's all right. There is one coming in the chat from Daniel Meyer from Erste Stiftung. I'm interested in how Janez Janša is perceived within the EPP today. How comfortable is his position in the APP family in practice, given past tensions around media freedom and his closeness to Viktor Orban? It all goes back to Viktor Orban in Hungary. But when you reply to this, tell us also, depending on who wins the elections and who sits in the parliament, what would be the impact on how they vote in Brussels, considering there is low trust in the European Commission?
Yeah. Okay. I would say that the position of European People's Party is pretty pragmatic. So there exists a possibility that Slovene Democratic Party, as a member of the family of European People's Party, would win elections in Slovenia. So it's fine to have electoral winner in the family, another one. So from in this pragmatic policy of European People's Party is a reason for certain support given to Janez Janša and to Slovene Democratic Party. On the other side, if we look at the situation inside of European Parliament, we can see that members of European Parliament, some of them from Slovene Democratic Party, in one of votes of confidence concerning European Commission, didn't support European Commission, and this was reason for huge dissatisfaction inside of political group of European People's Party inside of European Parliament. So we have on one side expectations that European People's Party could have a winner in Slovenia, but on the other side, especially in European Parliament, the group of European People's Party is dissatisfied with activity of Member of Parliament Branko Grims. He cannot be labeled as center right. He's much more right. They're dissatisfied with another member of Slovene Democratic Party from Slovenia, Milan Zvir, just because of his some of his voting decisions. European People's Party is, I would say, waiting for development of situation in Slovenia. If Janša would be winner, they would celebrate. But we do not know what would happen in a case if Janša wouldn't be a winner.
Thank you. I open the floor. Please, the easiest for me is if you raise your hand and ask the question while waiting for some hand to appear. I will ask you, usually when we speak about far right or parties or Viktor Orban, we speak about migration and anti-migration or anti-immigrant policies. To what extent is this important in Slovenia? It seems to me that in Slovenia, the migration issue is slightly different in the rest of Europe. It's more about people from former Yugoslavia who live there.
So there's pretty strong community of people from former Yugoslavia in Slovenia. Let's say my neighbors here, not very far away from the building of Delo, are members of Islamic community, mostly from Bosnia. They built a beautiful mosque a few years ago. They're very well integrated, and they somehow enriched the landscape of Ljubljana due to beautiful architecture. We have strong Croatian, Albanian, and Serbian group here in Slovenia. The number of immigrants from Asia is rising, but still I wouldn't say it's significant. Somewhere at the beginning of pre-election campaign, the member of Slovene Democratic Party who can be labeled as a member of right wing of Slovenian Democratic Party announced establishment of the office for immigrants, for deportation of immigrants. He announced that this office would have one director, one assistant, 20 policemen, 20 members of special police forces, and 2 buses. And with these 2 buses, illegal immigrants will be deported from Slovenia. The way how he announced...
Where would these buses go? To Croatia or to Italy or to Austria or
probably to Croatia, but he was not very clear here. I wouldn't believe that these buses could enter Hungary. Okay. On the other side, I wouldn't agree that the policy of Robert Golob and his coalition is liberal when we are speaking about migrations. It is selective. It's important that migrations are regulated. Let's say we have a new embassy in Philippines, and ambassador of Slovenia in Philippines in Manila is looking for workers that would be ready to work in Slovenian Medicare system and some other parts of Slovenian in some other Slovenian institutions, just because it's obvious that we have demographic problems. We have some professions where it's nearly impossible to get workers. So we can speak about the necessity for regulated migrations to Slovenia.
Thank you. I'm going to interrupt you because we have questions from journalists.
Hello, yes, Georg Krauchenberg. I'm from the Institute of the Danube Region, IDM, and I have 2 questions. The one is about the Ukraine situation. If Janša was going to win, is he going to side with Orban and Fico? And the other question is, you mentioned the courts, that there's little trust in courts, and it's rather known that court procedures in Slovenia are extremely slow. Was there some improvement at least? And is it about the court length, the length of the cases, or is it about the decisions? Thank you.
Ali, I would like to take also Stefan Vospernik from APA News Agency. Stefan, go ahead.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Stefan.
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Hi, I got a question because Slovenia is very peculiar also in relation with the other Central Eastern European countries, that there is no right-wing populist party as such that was successful. But now in this campaign, there is a new party called Resnica. And I would like to ask you whether they have any chances to enter the parliament, or will it be again that there will be no genuine right-wing populist party in the parliament? And do you see also an impact of the current foreign politics, international politics situation, the Iran war? Is this detrimental to Mr. Janša's chances, because this is some kind of overshadowing his policy against migration and also European Union?
Thank
Thank
you. Go ahead, Ali.
The question on Ukraine is interesting and significant. In 2022, Janez Janša's prime minister was in the first group of European politicians who visited Kiev. As I remember, inside of this group was Prime Minister of Poland, and the third person I forgot who was. So the position of Janša concerning Ukraine didn't change and is pretty different than the position of Viktor Orban. So this is probably the only point of difference between Janez Janša and Viktor Orban. There was a question on court, trust to the court. So if we speak about three branches of authority, judiciary, executive, and parliament, we will see that the trust given to courts is a little bit higher than the trust given to parliament or to the government. The second element is that the trust given to courts is going up. So it's the courts were very low. They managed to be faster in their procedures, and they managed to assure bigger respect given to courts. But okay, here disclosure, here I'm biased just because my wife is a judge of appeal court in Ljubljana, and in next days she will become the president of appeal court in Ljubljana. Resnica, so the party, the name can be translated as truth. In this electoral campaign, Resnica, the truth, is the only party that is strictly sovereignistic. On the other side, it's a populistic political party. It's political party with some anti-systemic views and approaches. It's trying to build an image of, equilibrium between Russia and NATO. I can understand this only as a position that is in favor to Russia and Moscow, and their position is at this point pretty unique. Stefan asked about Iran. It's difficult to say what's going to be impact of decision of Netanyahu and Donald Trump to attack Iran. Present ruling coalition was successful in operation of rescuing or assisting to people from Slovenia who were trapped in airports on Arabian Peninsula. So it was evacuation operation executed very successfully, efficiently, and the government builded the image of competent organization ready to assist to people from Slovenia, to our people. We do not know what will happen with the prices of oil in the future. So 2 days ago, it was expected that prices of oil in Slovenia would go up, but the new price that is regulated is higher only for very, very small percentage. So this will not jeopardize at the moment the standard of people. The new correction of price is expecting in 2 weeks. So prices are regulated on the way that changes can be made in every 2 weeks. Well, this governmental regulation will not jeopardize the success of energetic companies in Slovenia, but 2 days ago, really many people decided to go to gas stations. There were pretty long queues in expectation of new much higher price. Then those who were waiting in those queues were somehow disappointed just because the change was very, very slow, very, very small. Okay, but on the other side, probably some impacts on Slovenian political situation could have the fact that we do not know precisely what are the goals of the campaign made by American and Israeli forces in Iran. What are the goals? And here there's a lot of space for critical position of, let's say, left wing of political spectrum, but much less space for critical position of right wing of political spectrum, just because Janša is building an image of ally of Donald Trump in Slovenia. I'd like to mention one more fact concerning the relationship between Slovenia and United States of America. Just few weeks before elections in United States, Robert Golob visited Joe Biden in White House. Janša declared this visit as a huge mistake, just because it's not fine to visit the one who's going to be a loser on the elections. The claim is that present government does not have a substantial dialogue with the American administration, but there is an interesting fact old few months, and this fact is that the chief of Slovenian Intelligence Security Agency, Mr. Kadivnik, visited Donald Trump in White House a few months ago. So Donald Trump was ready to meet with the member of Slovenian intelligence, head director of Slovenian Intelligence Agency. It means the representative of government administration of Slovenia, for a meeting that was going on for, we do not have reports how many minutes, but there was a short photo session and pictures of this meeting were delivered. So the claim that there is no contact between Slovenian government, Slovenian governmental administration on one side and American administration on the other side, that these contacts are weak, that the dialogue is not sufficient. These claims are not valid and are not do not match to the facts.
Okay, well, I'll take more questions and then I'll read it. So at least there were photographs. We don't know if the meeting was long, but there were photos. Odea, please go ahead.
Yes, hello. Good morning. Werdia from AFP News Agency. I had a question regarding how we can call Janša party. Can we describe it as far right as you presented it at the beginning of the session? And the other thing is, could you elaborate on the possible infringement of LGBT or women's rights in the country if Janša comes to power? Well, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But I will also read the question we have in the chat so you can reply to it. Is Vesna Bernardic. I'm reading it. Anže Logar from Democrats has said that he will, quote, not allow anybody to form government, but either won't prevent anybody, but will neither to do so, end of the quote. You say that he is very close to Janša and SDS. So you don't consider he could say no to Janša as prime minister?
About Slovene Democratic Party, I will give you a short historic overview. Janez Janša is leader of this party for 34 years. He became president of Slovene Democratic Party in 1992, when this political party was named Social Democratic Party of Slovenia. So, Social Democratic Party of Slovenia. He had ambition to enter Socialist International Organization, but he was refused. He was not accepted as a member. So then he decided to rebrand the political party, in terms that he's labeled only Slovene Democratic Party. This happened at the end of 90s previous century. And he entered to the family of European People's Party. Then in last year, he changed his position a little bit more with these sympathies toward Viktor Orban. So I would not dare to say that Slovene Democratic Party as such is far-right political party. I wouldn't agree with this label, but inside of Slovene Democratic Party is a wing that can be labeled as far-right. Especially one member of European Parliament from this party can be labeled as far right, and I think that he even would agree with this definition. LGBT. So I would say that when we are speaking about legal protection of LGBT community, it would be difficult to change it. But the political culture would be changed. The general feelings of members of LGBT community would be different, and the environment couldn't be described as LGBT-friendly environment in the case of victory of Janez Janša. So on the other side, I wouldn't agree with claims that, let's say, Pride parade would be forbidden. It wouldn't be. The political culture wouldn't be similar to the one that was implemented by Viktor Orban in Hungary. Okay, there was a question on Anže Logar. Definitely, if Janša would be invited to form the new governmental coalition, Anže Logar would accept the invitation to the ruling coalition. There's no doubt. Logar made certain signals that he would be ready to enter to the coalition with Robert Golob, but position of Robert Golob here is interesting. He, if it would be necessary to form coalition with one of right-wing political parties, he would give advantage to Christian Democratic Bloc, rather to Anže Logar and to party Democrats.
Thank you very much. We are coming to the end. Thank you very much, Ali, for giving us the Slovenian context, which in some ways is also similar to other European countries, basically the lack of trust in the institutions, which can have quite serious consequences. And I thank the audience. I thank Ali. I would like to say, may democracy win in Europe. That's what really matters. Thank you so much.
Thank you for invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.